This day that I've seen in a long time in college football has happened. The ramifications of the NIL and it being implemented terribly are here with Mr. Mathew, the UNLV quarterback that had been leading the Rebels to an undefeated season, about to start conference play, and he quote unquote quits. Now, there's some different things and different words about, did he quit? Is this more of an issue with some money things? Well, we're going to fully dive into it, check out a few different things. I'm supposed to have some more here and then give you the full details on it. First off, appreciate y'all joining me. Leave a like on this if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. We're going to get to the bottom of this NIL situation, talk more about college football, because that's what we do on this channel. If you enjoy that, subscribe, and let's have a good time. Mathew Sluka, the UNLV guy, people are saying he's a quitter. Mr. Gentleman here is saying that I'm not a quitter. The UNLV boys just give me what they were promised, right? I was promised certain financial things, and those financial things did not come into fruition, right? So, if I'm Mr. Mathew Sluka, if I'm him, I'm feeling the type of way. I understand that, but also on the same thing as that is that some people are saying and calling him a quitter. Some people are saying this is the reason why college football and college sports are dying, because of the NIL. But let's really get some detail in here. So UNLV starting quarterback walks away from program. UNLV starting quarterback Mathew Sluka is leaving the program immediately. He said on social media late Tuesday, "I had decided to utilize my redshirt year and will not be playing in any additional games this season. I committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear that these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for the continued success of the program." Now, we are going to get deeper into it because the backup is a guy from Campbell. He's a HBCU guy that's moved up and done great things. There's some promising stuff. So they're not completely dead in the water, but it is a bit of a shock and a bit of a mix-up. So in my head, it's going to be very interesting to see how the team responds, and we're going to get into Twitter because obviously the team responded, get a little deeper in there as well. But just kind of laying out the plan the way it's laid out right now. Sluka arrived at UNLV after compiling hefty stats at Holy Cross. I apologize if I said that wrong. Football championship subdivision, passing for 5,900, basically 6,000 yards, 59 touchdowns, while rushing for 3,583 yards and 38 scores. He set the NCAA Division I, as a D1 school, my fault, record for rushing yards in a game by a quarterback with 330 against Lafayette last season. So the dude can ball, and he had been balling. Look, come on, man. We're here for the tweets, son. We're here for the people looking and seeing. Oh no, they're deleting tweets. They delete the tweets. Okay, so if you don't know, there's been some back and forth. Okay, so here's what UNLV had to say. UNLV has this to say. They say that all financial commitments for UNLV quarterback were completely met, but after a win against KU in Houston, Sluka's family hired an agent, and they collectively feel that his market value has increased per source. Now, this is nasty. If true, this is super nasty, but at the same time, I think it's this, like, at the end of the day, it's still the effects and the issues that are happening with the NIL, right? It's all the result of NIL being poorly implemented and being implemented late, right? If it was implemented when it needed to be late or needed to be implemented, I don't think, or even in a way. And you're going to see there's a tweet in here talking about how people need to have contracts at this point. If we're going to be paying people money from these collectives and deals, this is the result of it. It gets real nasty. And if you want me to sit here and try to throw this, it's hard to say kid because, I mean, it was like 25 at this point. If you want me to throw this kid under the bus, I'm just not going to do it. But I think at the end of the day, the way that we implement these things is the problem. That is the issue. If we do it like that, in the way that it is, here are those stats, so we can take a peek at these. The dude can ball. If we implement the NIL in this way, we all knew how ugly it was going to get. You know, last season, or what was that, right before in springtime, you had the whole controversy with the Florida quarterback and him suing, Florida and whatever. I might have the schools mixed up. And then now you have this situation where you see this happen immediately. Like this is insane. This is crazy. Shout out to my guys in the live here. Shout out to the Low Vibes, Ernest Thompson. I'll read those comments in just a second. Appreciate y'all hanging out here. I'm just recording this video. If you are watching this on YouTube, I am live sometime. I'll talk about college football, so come join us there. But no, this is all the reflection of the poor implementation of the NCAA. Instead of the NCAA, and that's why they're about to pay some fines. And I also find crazy. I also find it crazy that this comes right after, like, coincidences are there's no such thing as coincidences. This let everybody know. There's no such thing as a coincidence, right? I find this odd that it comes in the same week that Reggie Bush is suing the NCAA and USC for that whole, or the Heisman or whatever, and the school for that whole debauchery and that whole situation. So I find it very odd that this is also happening, that we're seeing the fact that there are real ramifications for these schools messing with these people's money. They're messing with their money, messing with their academic and also athletic careers. Like, this isn't a game. So if you want me to jump up and down and be mad at this young man who seemingly didn't get the bread that he was owed, I can't do it. I'm not going to be the one to do it. I think that if you even allowing it to get this far, that's the problem. The problem isn't these kids wanting to make sure, even if that stuff, and it look crazy. If it is true that he is only sitting because he got the bread, some people are saying that the Auburns or a big school said, hey, man, go ahead and give us your sixth year. Because, I mean, what is it? It's going to be his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, go ahead for your sixth year. Give his 15 millions. You know what I'm saying? Come hang out with us. Michigan, hey, big bread. I got the collective. Here it is, and let's do that. I don't see how that is not possible. I think more likely it's the whole his value went up. To be honest with you, especially if he gets an agent, he's out in Las Vegas. He's starting to see the money. He wins after Kansas. They're the big bad dogs. They're 3-0. They're a group of 5 favorites, and now that has changed entirely. So it's crazy to see. Reading off some of the comments of my guys here in the live. My man Adrian says quitting on his team. That's trash. Now, I don't believe that he's quitting on his team, but we can get deeper into that. Lil Vibe said that's true. Then yeah, he's a clown. His family do that in his supposed to be a senior year. Yeah, this is year 5, so this is beyond the senior year. Yeah. This is really. It's a nasty result of a bad way to implement these things, right? And then this is one of my favorite guys. Look, I don't know who y'all follow. I don't know if y'all still watching Stephen A. Smith or people. Coach Dan Casey on Twitter. Dog draws up plays. He does great stuff. He's one of my favorite football minds. NIL is a band-aid to a broken system. Athletes and programs need to sign contracts with clear terms to protect both parties. I don't understand how Nick Saban gets up there and is allowed to, and I'm not saying that he's throwing these kids under the bus, but by virtue of the way that they talk about NIL, the way that people talk about the transfer portal, it's very much throwing these young men under the bus, and I'm just not going to do it. I am going to look at the NCAA, who has had years and centuries of fumbling and doing terrible things, shady things, and messing with these young people's monies, opportunities, athletic and academic careers, and I'm going to look at them and say, why implement a system in which it's being exploited? You're not going to look me in the eyes and tell me that you don't, as the NCAA, don't know what's happening with these NIL collectives. It's a big money pot with boosters, and we're handing out, combined with also real name, image, likeness deals. The Deion Sanders has talked about it. Nick Saban has talked about it. So if we all are talking about it, and everybody knows, the biggest coaches know, NCAA, what are we doing? Why aren't we protecting both these young adults and these instant noodles, these institutions? That's not making any sense to me, dog. They set this up for failure. This is my theory, and the NCAA can pull up in they black SUVs because I cracked the Da Vinci Code. I think what's happening is the NCAA knew that if they just allowed NIL and just allowed money to start making, they could start looking at the shadiness and let the the universities expose themselves like they're already doing, right? Go ahead, get individual deals with EA and NCAA and get your college football game. Do individual deals and pay these players. But if something comes and bites you back, if these schools could come back and they sue you, I think the NCAA wanted this NIL situation to go poorly If not, they would have put legislation or they would have done something to make more sense and like, just be more fair for both ends. This is crazy. So let's talk about the quitter claims. We're going to look at a few memes here and then get into it, read some comments. They're going crazy in the comments, man. They're going after each other. So Jack McGuire, one of the worst people I know, on Twitter, he says, I am hearing Sluka has gotten close to none of his guaranteed NIL money. Okay, interesting. This is the crazy part. They're saying that, they got none, right? The family and them, and we're going to go deeper into this. The family, man, this is crazy. So the family was saying that he deleted his tweet. That's the messed up thing. He deleted his tweet, dog. But the family is saying that, he didn't get any of the money. The institution is saying all money has been paid out. Other people are saying that potentially the issue could be a what's it called? Him getting money from somewhere else type thing. I am just, it's more confusing when we really start thinking about it. But I do know whose fault it is. It's the NCAA's fault. It's cleanly and squarely the NCAA's fault that something like this can even happen. God, these ads, dog. These boys got ads everywhere. Damn. I get it. Okay, so it says On3 reached out to Sluka's NIL representation, Equity Sports, for comment on Wednesday morning. The quarterback has completed 21 of 48 for 318 yards, 6 touchdowns, and an interception in 3 games. He's also UNLV is coming off a bye week and is set to host Fresno State. Where for comment on Wednesday morning? So did they comment or what? They came up big, 113, did it big. UNLV head coach Barry Odom recently talked on On3 about how the Rebels attack NIL in the transfer portal. No offense or disrespect to anybody that has left, but oh my goodness. Or left, but we feel like there's a lot of really good football players out there, Odom said. At UNLV, we have to offer for a guy looking to finish their careers in 1 or 2 years. It's pretty appealing. We're aggressive in the NIL world, in the city of Vegas, but we also understand we're not going to compete if that's the only thing that we're looking for. We're not going to be able to compete with some of the schools that have bankroll of unlimited resources. That's not us. And that is the head coach talking about before this happened, how he wants to attack the transfer portal. So, look, man, to me, the way that this is sounding like, you have a head coach that's saying that he's going to be aggressive in his NIL deal. You've got a player who's been playing out of his mind, but at a weird time, he does sit down. Like, this is a weird time. I know it's the limit is the 3 games, so maybe he was trying to hold out XYZ, because that could be very possible. Hey, I haven't got my money. Let me go ball out. Hopefully I get my money, or I at least put my stock out there so I can go get some bread in another place. So we have, like I said, a head coach saying he's aggressive in NIL. They're in Vegas. I'm not gonna say too much. They're in Vegas. Okay. And then you have the fathers. I wish I could have showed you this, but this is a tweet from the father talking about it. The father of Mr. Matt Sluka talking in going against the claims that UNLV was all paid, and then deleting those tweets. It's I can't describe it as anything else except nasty. This whole thing is just straight up nasty, and it didn't have to be this way. Gonna keep scooting here. Just see some people's comments, how they're feeling. Quitting the team fixed it for you. Interesting. I guess he thinks that's a quit, even though we don't know the full story. I appreciate that. A starting quarterback of a 3-0 team, very much in the playoff race, bails on his team the week of a huge conference matchup, announces his exit with a tweet at 12:36, all over an NIL dispute. And I don't like this either. I'm sorry, I don't like this all over NIL. My munyon? I'm so tired of these old motherfuckers talking about I miss the old game. I miss the old Kanye. Straight from the, man, it's over with. Give me my money. If you're going to guarantee me money, and you as a UNLV athletic director, as a head coach, is gonna get paid a lot of money, a lot of guaranteed money off the backs of what I'm finna do, dog, give me my money. This theory of people wanting to be like pro, like if you pro free market and getting your money and doing all this, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I want everybody to get their bread. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, I want that free market capitalist, you know what I'm saying, I want that money flowing and going everywhere it can be. Well, you have to be behind this. You got to be behind, hey, the price of the brick went up. 3-0, the price of the brick went up. If not, use your backup. I'm going to see you. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Mr. Sluka for putting his balls on the table. I got to be real with you. I got to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Continuing on and continuing forward. We're going to read a few more just tweets and things and opinions about it. This is wild. He said he's done playing the season. The Rebels are 3-0 for the first time since 1984. Here's the actual tweet from Mr. Mathew Sluka. We've talked about it. Obviously, we read the words of it. There it is. But this, I will say that undoubtedly, this is crazy. And this was him talking about just 20 hours ago. UNLV would like to be clicking on all cylinders. And he was just kind of talking about the RPO game, talking about his guy and how he's going to get done. Now, the first thing that we have, the first idea, I guess, is Q's. Maybe Syracuse threw him in the bag because he's following them. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're just trying to recruit. But this is the guy. So this is the backup. As we, oh no, this is Fox. I can't show this is Fox. I'm probably gonna get taken down because it's Fox. But it shouldn't be no big. I was gonna show you, but that is Fox. But this is the guy. This is the backup. The dude is apparently a dog. Brett McMurphy says UNLV starting quarterback Mathew Sluka announced that he will redshirt and won't play for the rest of the season. And then of course he kind of goes over the same thing that we talked about. What's it called? The rumor, if it's a rumor going around as UNLV, is that Sluka went to Odom's office at some point this week and demanded an increase in NIL, which Odom said they couldn't do, and thus Sluka got angry and decided to utilize his redshirt transfer. That is a crazy, crazy claim, as I am seem to be glitching out on my camera, so it doesn't really matter. Wow. It's just what we like to call a crazy, crazy week in college football. But hey, I really appreciate y'all. If you're watching this in the video, appreciate you watching it. I think UNLV is going to be okay. They've got a backup, like I said, from Campbell, who I think can sling it a little bit too. So don't be too afraid. You know what I'm saying? They got another Q back there. So they should be okay. What's his name? I think it's Cameron Friel, I think. Lucas Lifford. I forgot what his name was. Where's the guy at? I think he's up there. He's one of these gentlemen up here. I thought he was something junior. He was darker. Maybe they don't have him on there, but the guy's a guy. I think they're gonna be okay. Like I said, I showed you a quick snapshot of him. I hope that video gets to make it in here. It is Fox, so you know how Fox be playing. But appreciate y'all watching this video. Leave a like on this video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. Get in the comments and tell me, is Mathew Sluka a quitter? Whose side are you on? Is UNLV right? Is he right? Is this a business decision or is this a right decision, man? We'll see you next time.